Today's project, we're going to begin creating a faux rock, otherwise known as a fake rock, and also known as a sprinkler valve cover. And this is what it's going to look like at the end. So let's get this project started. This is my first attempt at a valve box cover or a fake rock, and what I used is a wire mesh, but the mortar mix that I used kept on falling through the mesh. So then I sprayed it with spray foam to cover the wire mesh things. And by the way, the mortar mix just used to chip off like this, so that wasn't very good. So what I'm going to use today is a wall mount. That's what they used in my bathroom to create the walls, so I know it sticks to vertical surfaces. So that's what we're going to begin with. I'm going to use this as my basis of rock, but you can also just use a cardboard box. I've seen that being used. So let's get this project started. I have my table covered, my trowel ready, and a couple buckets ready to go. So this is the brand I'm using for the wall float. It's Quikrete wall float. So I'm going to dump a little bit into my bin and start baking the mix. I'm trying to get the consistency of like clay. Use over there. I'm going to try to mix this with the consistency of clay so I can slap it onto the edge. Little by little. Okay. And then it's too much water, so now I have to Throughout this video, you're going to see me, when I mix my wall float to water ratio, I usually get it wrong. So I usually go through about like 3-4 iterations, adding water, adding wall float to get the right mix. Since this is my first time, honestly, I think I did this around 4 or 5 times to get the right mix. And again, I'm trying to get like a clay-like texture. All right, back to this. Now that I have my mix ready, what I'm going to do with the clay is I'm going to make little shapes like pancakes or tortilla shapes. And I'm going to cover the top of this rock with this faux rock. And then I'm going to try to go as low as possible on the wall as I can. So just to try to see as much coverage as I can without the wall float starting to fall off. I'm going to come along the side walls just to see how low as I can go. When you see this, I'm only going to be able to get about 1/3 of the way down, which is fine. It's a good start. Okay, day 1 is complete. With the wall float, I went as far on the vertical walls as I could without it falling. So I'm going to just clean my tools and we'll finish that up on day 2. Okay, day 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this thing upside down and then do the other side walls. I have spray. I haven't mixed my cement yet. The cement's here on the ground. So I'll show you when I do that. I'm going to try to get this thing done today. I have a spray bottle. This will not get done today. It'll take 4 days. As I connect it, hopefully it'll blend in and stick to each other. All right, let's mix this stuff. About the wall stuff, it doesn't have any big blocks in it. Like the cement did. So I think that's good. By the way, this took about like 3 or 4 or 5 attempts of putting water wall float to make sure I get the right consistency. I just didn't show you all the different iterations. I'm spraying this so I can get the wall float that I put on yesterday wet. So when I put the wall float today on, they both will stick. So the method I'm doing today is different than the pancake method that I used yesterday, which was mainly for the top. Here I'm just trying to get this wall float and just smear it into the sides and just kind of blend it in with the wall float that I put on yesterday. As I put these walls on, I kind of blend them with the old one, but I want to blend them all the way down to the bottom, or in this case, all the way to the top, just so I get a nice base where it's going to sit in the ground. All right, as I finish up these walls, I just want to make sure everything is covered. Once I do this, I'm going to come up all the way to the top of what you're seeing here, which will be the bottom of the valve box. So I'm just covering every single hole, every single crevice that I see. Doesn't take a whole lot. It's pretty fun, pretty soothing to do. So as I finish up these side walls, I'm going to start working on creating a better base. So here I am just kind of putting like a little rim around the top. So here it's the top, but this is where it's going to be sitting on the bottom. And this is just going to give it a base where it's going to sit into the dirt and just kind of give it that, just that finished look. So I let this set for about a couple hours, 2 hours. Now I'm spraying it just to reduce any cracks that may form.
Spraying it for a little bit over 24 hours.
All right, it's been 24 hours now. So now the rock looks somewhat complete, but what I'm going to do is, since it's dried, it's had a little cracks. So today I'm going to fill in those cracks and maybe just start creating different features. Now on this rock, I'm going to create somewhat of a face, and I'll show you that when it's created. But that's what I'm doing here, and that's what today's job is. All right, time to create the wall float mix with water. Now today I'm going to make the mix a little more watery, just more fluid, so it can fill in some of those cracks. So here I'm just kind of smearing and filling any little cracks or crevices or just features that I don't want, and just trying to maybe smooth the rock so it looks more like a rock. Now I'm going to start creating a little features in the very top, and this is where I'm going to start creating the face. And you're going to start seeing this, and I'll give you a closer look, but I want the face just to look more like a rock that has a face on it than an actual sculpture. So it's going to be very mild and and hopefully it's going to look good. So you be the judge of that. I like the way it came out.
I'm going to show you this face. Just a hint of a face. The eyes, a little bit of the nose, a little bit of the mouth. Nice. Just to kind of give it a little natural look. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit so it could dry up a bit, and then I'll start the painting process. It's been a little bit. I am now going to...
All right, I let this sit for about 2 to 3 hours. Now what I'm going to do today, or do right now, is I'm going to get my sand block and just kind of start sanding off and smoothing out some of the edges so it doesn't look so much like a big block of cement. It gives it that more natural stone look.
I'm going to wet it a little bit, and I'm going to paint it.
So I'm wetting the rock right now, and then I'm going to go over it and start using my spray paints and see if I can get some color out of it right now, at least on day 3. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to paint it now. I'm using 3 colors. This here is like a coffee brown or a mocha brown. It's what I had in the garage. I'm also going to be using gold and a cream color. Now I tried a paintbrush method where I kind of mixed paint with this wall float. That didn't work out, so I'm not going to show you that. But here, if you look at them, I'm spraying it far away so I get even coverage. I'm not getting any big spots with the colors on it. So this is the approach I took, at least for the initial round.
A little bit of gold.
So I did the mocha first, then I did the cream color. So now I'm doing the gold. And again, I'm taking that same approach where I'm spray painting it from a distance so I don't get one spot that's that one color. And again, this is for the initial round.
A little closer look at this thing.
Okay, it's been about 24 hours. The paint's dried, the wall float has dried. This is what it looks like. The colors don't really come through, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a second coating here of paint. And then I'm going to seal it up with the sealant, with the clear matte finish sealant. And I'll show you that. Here we go. So today, I'm going to be just applying the mocha brown and the cream color. Now, today I'm going to give the paint job, I'm going to apply the paint a little more liberally. I don't mind if I give it some dark spots, but what I'm trying to do with this, at least with the brown mocha color, I'm trying to create some shadows for the eyes and just trying to create some dark spots on the rock. But I'm not getting still too close. I'm still getting far away, but I'm just applying it a little more liberally. So that was the mocha color, and as you saw, I kind of peppered it. I kind of got a little closer. What I was trying to do is create some of the shadows, especially shadows where my face eyes are going to be. And here now I'm coming in with the cream color, just lightening things up. Again, just kind of creating layers so that it gives it that natural rock look.
And last but not least, I'm gonna clear coat this sucker.
Okay, this is the matte finish clear coat, and here I am. I'm spraying very liberally close because it's a matte finish, so it's not really creating any colors, but hopefully it gives it a little bit of a shine and just keeps all those colors together. So this is what I'm doing here. Sped it up so you don't see me kind of going through the whole process.
I'll let that dry and then I'll put it in place. All right. I guess the paint job didn't look too bad. Here's my face. Still kind of looks like a big pile of cement, but yeah, it'll work. All right, these are the valves that I want to cover.
All right, right here, I'm just cleaning around the edges of the valves. So when I put my rock, it has a good base to sit on. And here's my faux rock, my face facing outward. Just kind of put it in gently so I don't crush my valves. And once I do that, I'm gonna fill in the mulch and the dirt around the edges so it covers the rock.
Just the rock, covering my valves. All right, here's the finished product. Straighten out my face. Cover the bottom. Nice valve box cover. And looks like a rock. Trying to make it blend with the other rocks. More like a boulder. And that is that.